Jill Abramson, former editor of the New York Times, is being called out for plagiarism in her new book, Merchants of Truth. While Abramson has made some interesting comments about left-wing bias at the Times, which we've pointed out previously on the show, it's clear that some of her journalistic practices haven't exactly been kosher.
But even if I include a footnote, I still can't steal their words, word for word, the way that you did.
Well, if you give them proper credit, you can.
But not
in a book.
It doesn't matter if I put a footnote 300 pages later. If I do that in a book, that's plagiarism. That's word for word stealing of other people's work.
Well, that's your position. I don't see it that way.
But it meets the Harvard definition of plagiarism, and you work at Harvard. It meets the New York Times definition of plagiarism where you worked. You're saying you didn't plagiarize.
I'm saying that I made some errors in the way I credited sources, but that there was no attempt to pass off someone's ideas, opinions, and phrasings as my own. These were all factual passages that unfortunately did not match up exactly to the right footnotes, but they are credited in the footnotes elsewhere.
Right, they're credited at the very end of the book, but the words are stolen from other sources, the actual words.
Vice News correspondent Michael C. Moynihan pointed out that many passages in her book appear to be lifted directly from the work of other journalists. Abramson has battled back, admitting that mistakes have been made, but also saying that they weren't a big deal and wouldn't be a cause for her firing. She has devoted a best-selling book and thousands of pages to attacking Justice Clarence Thomas and made frequent and dubious claims about him sexually harassing women despite a serious lack of evidence. In fact, a story she recently wrote in New York Magazine, in which she accused Thomas of groping a woman at a dinner party in 1999, was quickly debunked by the witnesses themselves after the story was published. Carrie Severino of the Judicial Crisis Network noted on Twitter that the article in general was, quote, a boring rerun of discredited allegations from the 1990s, resurrected by a discredited journalist who was fired for lying and mistreating her own employees. Certainly, mistakes happen in every field and can be forgiven, but these revelations about Abramson are not simply an isolated episode. And as we've seen in many cases lately, journalists have been so eager to run with a narrative that they misfire on basic facts about serious issues and create the kind of fake news that is corrosive to the truth and harmful to our country's public debates.